Other people have the luxury of judging allegations and situations. For me, it was about helping my brother in a hard way and doing it in a way that I didn't think compromised what matters.
That was Chris Cuomo's response when his brother got wrapped up in a list of sexual assault allegations. He felt family was more important than anything and wanted to do whatever it took to help his brother. The key words there were compromised what matters. Looking into Andrew's misconduct also brought inquiry into whether Chris had compromised his journalistic ethics. Did he go too far to protect Andrew? In the end, the former kings of news and politics rose and fell as they always did together. Growing up Cuomo. Christopher was born August 9, 1970. He was born in Queens to Mario Cuomo, the former governor of New York, and Matilda Cuomo. Chris went to Immaculate Conception School in Jamaica, Queens. He then went to Yale to get his undergraduate degree and the Fordham University School of Law for his JD in 1995. Andrew was born December 6, 1957. He graduated from Archbishop Malloy High School in 1975. He got a Bachelor of Arts from Fordham University in 1979 and a JD from Albany Law School in 1982. Their careers. Politics was in the Cuomo brothers' blood. They both followed its call in different ways. They also used it to help advance each other's careers when they could. Christopher talked about social issues on a range of networks, including CNBC, MSNBC, CNN, and Fox. He then became the chief law and justice correspondent for ABC News and the co-anchor for 2020. He covered issues that affected average families like heroin addiction, the Haiti earthquake, child custody, bullying, homeless teens, and more. His work also led to real change. His look into for-profit school recruiters led to an industry-wide cleanup. His tip from a BMW owner led to a story that created a recall of over 150,000 vehicles. Chris was also an anchor for other shows, including Good Morning America from 2006 to 2009. He covered stories about issues like war and school shootings. Chris moved to CNN in February of 2013. He debuted February 8th on Piers Morgan Tonight, covering that year's blizzard. He then moved to primetime host of Cuomo Primetime in March of 2018. His career nearly fell after the Fredo incident. On August 13, 2019, he threatened to throw a heckler down the stairs. He called the man Fredo, an Italian slur used in the Godfather films. Andrew was the campaign manager for his father's successful run for governor in 1982. He was known as the enforcer, enacting more forceful strategies. He became the district attorney and worked at the law firm of Blutrick, Falcone, and Miller from 1984 to 85. He left that firm to run HELP, the housing enterprise for the less privileged, in 1998. He also chaired the New York Homeless Commission from 1990 to 93. Andrew was appointed Assistant Secretary for Community Planning and Development in 1993. He then served as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development from 1997 to 2001. During his tenure there, he worked on issues like gun control, employment, and housing. Some believe his overzealous efforts to maintain his department led to more problems than it fixed. Andrew stepped away from government from 2001 to 2006. He worked at the Fried Frank law firm and then the Island Capital real estate firm. He ran for governor for the first time in 2002. He was seen as the favorite until he made unfavorable comments about the September 11th attacks. He withdrew from consideration and lost the general election to George Pataki. Andrew ran for state attorney general in 2006. He won the Democratic Party endorsement with 65% of the delegates. He won the majority vote by over 20%. He beat Jeanine Pirro in the general election, November 7, 2006, with 58% of the vote. He used his position to conduct investigations into student loan fraud, child pornography, and corruption scandals. That didn't mean he was always favored and never experienced controversy. His remarks about Barack Obama in 2008 were considered racist. Andrew began his campaign for governor on January 23, 2010. He was up against Carl Palladino but won 62% of the vote. He ran for re-election in 2014. He won against Rob Astorino with 54% of the vote. He went against Cynthia Nixon in 2018. She criticized him for his response to the 2017 New York City transit crisis, his unwillingness to legalize recreational marijuana, and his failure to protect undocumented immigrants or create a single-payer healthcare system. he still won with 65% of the vote. Andrew announced his intention to run for a fourth term in May 2019. Unforeseen allegations took that away. The allegations and getting fired. The Cuomo brothers were so intermeshed that what one did almost always affected the other. Andrew's allegations. Lindsay Boylan, Andrew's former aide, came forth on December 13, 2020. She alleged that he'd been sexually assaulting her for years. He had goaded her into playing strip poker and forcibly kissed her. She also said he created a toxic team environment where no one felt they could speak up. Charlotte Bennett, an executive assistant and health policy advisor, made accusations on February 27, 2021. She said he had asked her inappropriate, sexually charged questions. Andrew denied the claims, but said in a statement, quote, "I now understand that my interactions may have been insensitive or too personal, and that some of my comments, given my position, made others feel in ways I never intended." He publicly apologized and said nothing he did was meant to be taken offensively. President Biden, Press Secretary Jen Psaki, and Senators Chuck Schumer and Kristen Gillibrand supported a formal investigation into Andrew's conduct. They found more women who made allegations against him. A 5-month investigation into Andrew's behavior ended on August 3, 2021. It concluded that he'd harassed 11 women during his time in office. The behavior included unwanted groping, kissing, and sexual comments. He had also threatened one woman with retaliation for speaking out. Andrew denied the claims and announced his resignation August 10, 2021. In his first public appearance afterwards, he spoke out against what he felt were unfair claims. On Real Time with Bill Maher, he said,
"This cancel culture, it's a loaded gun, and they can use it against anyone, anytime, even for their self-interest."
He also filed a suit to try to get his career and reputation back. He claimed one of the women accusing him was a series reporter. He was set to be charged with a misdemeanor sex crime, but it was dropped. Chris's response and allegations. Chris said in March of 2021 he couldn't report on the allegations against his brother because of the clear conflict of interest.
I never covered my brother's troubles because I obviously have a conflict, and there are rules at CNN about that.
He claimed not to be an advisor and that he only supported Andrew as a brother. The public eventually found out he was closer to the case than they thought. It was discovered that Chris had participated in discussions on and information about the allegations. He issued an apology and said it wouldn't happen again. That wasn't the only persuading he'd been doing. The New York Attorney General's office released documents on November 29, 2021. They showed Chris was still using media sources to find out about Andrew's accusers and help him make the best statements about them. Chris was fired from CNN the day after these reports came out. He did not take the loss of his position well. He reportedly said he felt like he was going to, quote, "kill everybody, including myself," after he was fired. Things got worse from there when Chris got his own sexual misconduct allegations. His former boss, Shelley Ross, accused him of harassment and said the accusation came before his termination. He denied it, saying there was nothing sexual about the incident and that he apologized to her. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think we'll see the Cuomos back in the spotlight? Let us know in the comments section below.